You are listening to the Workbench After Hours podcast. In this episode, we're going to talk about 3 new events that happened not only here, but also in China, to where it's like, when is the government going to realize it's not the guns? We're going to talk about that, briefly talk about the fight that everybody witnessed last week, and is it fake? Was it staged? I don't know, maybe. And we're also going to try a whiskey of the week, so stay tuned for that. Episode 126. All right, so Chris, what is the whiskey that we are trying this week?
We are trying Whistlepig Pit Viper. So it says it's sun toasted from 91.4 million miles away. So I don't know if they just leave it out in the sun or what. It says it's a limited edition and it's 86 proof and it's Solora aged with an alien on it.
Yeah, so it's a summer stock. I found this at least a year ago. It was a limited edition, so it's unfortunately no longer available anymore unless you buy it secondhand or whatever. I've tried it. I have my thoughts. I'm going to have Chris try it, give his thoughts, and then we'll talk about it. It was about $70-ish or so around there. Whistlepig, for some reason, is not cheap. They're proud of their pricing.
Yeah.
So how this turned out is going to affect how I buy anything else from Whistlepig. Although we did like the 10-year rye.
Yeah, the 10-year
I like
rye
that.
is
That's how we
really
got
good.
into Whistlepig. The 6-year piggyback was fine. But as far as there's some other ones like this, like the summer, the campfire
or whatever.
Yeah. So I bought it because, one,
It's a pretty sweet bottle.
I like the bottle. The label's pretty cool. And it's basically a rye. So 43%. Chris, why don't you go ahead and do that, and we'll see. So a small batch. So if you were able to find this, let us know down in the comments if you liked it, didn't like it.
Can't get anything off the nose. I'm getting like a burn.
Are ya? Wuss. It's kind of like almost getting like a toastiness,
a little bit
going on there. Obviously, I
get a lot of burn. I don't know
Really?
why. Yeah.
Man, today is not your day.
No, it's not. I don't know why.
You shouldn't be getting a burn on a 43%.
No.
Maybe you're inhaling too much. This isn't
Maybe.
Coke, man. This is just whiskey.
Yeah.
No, definitely.
I'm getting the vanilla flavors in there. There's something else in there, and it smells very familiar,
Yeah.
but I can't get what it is.
Right. Well, try it and see what happens. But yeah, it's got that sweetness up front in the nose, and then it's got like almost like a toastiness, or like it's a little bit more than just oak. It tastes different than it smells, doesn't it?
Yeah.
When I first tried this, I was excited because I like Whistlepig. I'm like, oh, something cool, different, limited edition. Smelled it. Smells good. But the taste
That's different.
it's lacking. It's not as... It doesn't have a whole lot going on. It's kind of just... Like, there's some flavors going on. I might have to try to kind of tell it, but it's not...
It's
It's
like
not
for
what
a rye. For a rye, you usually get that pepper up front. You don't get that up front. You get it on the back end, like more of our traditional whiskeys. Like usually rye is just peppery throughout the whole thing.
Right.
This is more on the back end, so you're getting more of your it almost getting like your actual whiskey flavor up front.
Right.
Then you're getting the rye.
Yeah.
Is what it feels like to me.
Yeah. It's... From the second one I took, like you said, get your quick caramels and stuff like that, the sweetness first, and then it's overtaken by the wryness, like the spices and everything. But for a $70-some rye, I kind of expected more going on.
Yeah.
Like it's there just wasn't a lot there for me. Like, I like complex whiskey now,
Yeah.
as you do too, but I was just disappointed.
I mean, from their 10-year, yeah.
Yeah.
It's disappointing because the 10-year is very smooth
Right.
for a rye.
I mean, this is smooth. It's just...
It's not what you expect because you're
Yeah.
thinking rye, peppery, getting a lot of flavor out of that pepper too.
Yeah.
And you're not getting that. You're getting sweet and then pepper.
Yeah. So after I was disappointed with this one, I'm like, I don't know if I want to go with that other camp one, and
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you like it? What do you think?
It's not bad. It's, I don't know.
I don't think if it was still available, I don't think I would
yeah.
spend another $70
No.
dollars on it. So
No.
yeah,
But
it's a cool bottle to have in a collection. That cap is solid.
Yeah, it's heavy.
But yeah, I was definitely disappointed. But yeah, I know it says it pairs well with salty snacks and beef, which I could definitely see.
Yeah.
But For a rye whiskey, it doesn't have as much going on as I was hoping. It's a little dumbed down, I guess.
I wish they'd tell you what the age of it is. Besides just Solera aged.
Yeah, it doesn't. It's kind of like got a retro label going on there. They don't have it on their website anymore because it was a limited edition. So I couldn't find any information on it other than what like
it says on the bottle pretty much.
Yeah, and like what other reviewers said. But
I want to know what the sun toasted. Like they just let it bake in the sun, and then what do they do? Or did they have like artificial light to baking it?
Maybe we could scan this QR code on the back and it'll tell us.
They'll probably be like, "Oh, this is no longer available."
Right? Whistlepig Whiskey. It takes you to their website. Is it going to tell us anything about it? No. It's just white. White. Nothing cool. So yeah, they must have been on their website at one point and then they took it down. Which is dumb. Like obviously it's still.
Yeah, I really want to know
there.
like what they mean by it's sun toasted and sun aged.
Yeah. I definitely get that toastedness on there. Like I can get a toasty flavor, like almost like a burnt.
Yeah, you get the burnt like oak barrel caramel.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I think this is going to be better neat than on the rocks because on the rocks it's going to take away any peppery that it has. So it's just going to be. I mean, we'll see, but I was just disappointed.
Yeah.
So,
but it doesn't help that we started with their 10-year.
If you don't like Rise or don't like all that pepperiness, this would have been a good one. So,
yeah,
would have been if you could still find it. I don't know. So that's the whiskey of the week.
Yeah.
All right, so gun stuff.
Yay.
Gun stuff. No, I haven't heard of any new cool guns coming out yet, but it's here before too long. We do have SHOT Show coming up.
Yep.
Early in the year, January?
Yeah.
Is what we got. Still undecided if I want to go. Probably not, but we'll see. So we'll see what happens. We'll be able to talk about some cool stuff. Hopefully, hopefully, fingers crossed, Glock comes out with something cool.
Hopefully.
That's not just a mash of their other models and call it a new model. But in the gun news, obviously we talked about last week how we have Trump that is going to be in president, and now we officially know he has been confirmed as the winner of the election. Last time they called it, but it wasn't
confirmed.
Yeah, she didn't concede or anything like that, so it was still up in the air. And then we have the Senate. And do we officially have the House, or is that still up in the air now too?
I haven't looked.
I think last I saw is 99% that we're going to have the House too. So for some reason, those states take forever. To do
those
like how long ago was the election now? It's crazy. Like 15 days ago. Yeah, but so it looks like we're going to be able to do that, which is good, especially for the gun community, because if we don't have both, any gun laws that would help us might not get passed, but the fact that we have both the House and Senate more than likely will help pass a lot of the stuff that, because Trump is pro 2A.
Yep.
Minus that bump stock thing, but we talked about why. Okay, we'll take that over anything else. We got some good news. Hopefully, we'll have a good 4 years. It'll be kind of like the last 4 years he was in office. Not a whole lot going on. Prices come down, and it seems like people stop buying because they're like, "Oh, well, I can go buy that stuff." But that is actually the time to buy because you don't know who's going to come in the next election or what freaking pandemic or crazy thing's going to happen to where everybody's going to start buying up stuff. Because that did happen during COVID hit, and then all of a sudden you couldn't find anything. So everything was nice and cheap. So while it's cheap and available, that's when you want to buy the stuff.
Yep.
It's not as exciting because you're not hunting. There's a little bit of that hunt for like ammo and stuff that makes it a little
like the
fun.
Whiskey hunt.
Exactly. I found 9mm ammo.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I bought the last box. You bastard.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I do like going up. I was at Academy today and just plenty of ammo.
Yep.
I actually need to start buying more, but it's Christmas. It's like I got other stuff to buy.
Yeah.
New York City is undoubtedly probably the one of the most strictest cities when it comes to guns and state.
Yeah.
Basically, the two coasts are terrible with guns. They're always saying that the left or Democrats and, even some are Republicans, but mostly Democrats and the left side and all that are saying guns are the problem. And we've had multiple podcasts where we've said why guns are not the problem. We could talk about it until we're blue in the face. But we keep getting these other things popping up that just prove what we've been saying. And it's getting to the point to where when are they going to realize it's not the gun, it's the person? We have one thing to talk about that happened in New York City, and then a couple of things that happened in China, which China obviously doesn't have the Constitution, but it still makes the case for our point that evil doesn't need a gun. It isn't about knives or guns. If someone is determined to harm others, they will find another way. They'll use whatever they want. They'll use a kitchen, a hammer, a car, which we'll talk about. They'll use literally anything.
Yep.
Violence isn't about the tool. It's about the event.
Yep.
I don't know why, for some reason. And do you think it's just because they want control?
Well, in China, they do.
Well,
That's
yeah, China, obviously.
Yeah.
But here in America,
yeah,
like
it's
New
all
York
about,
City,
they want control. The government wants to be in control. That's the whole name of the game. They don't like us having our Constitution because they know it's against them, and it's for the people to protect themselves from a government and tyranny. But sorry.
Well, hopefully things are going to change over the next 4 years. But so recently, unfortunately, this happened not that long ago, within the last few days. A man in New York City, a place where you can't just conceal carry a gun and protect yourself. It's really, you can get a conceal carry license. It's really hard. And good luck finding a part in that city where you can actually carry it.
Yeah.
So a man, I forgot, 50s, 60s maybe, just, I don't know, had a bad day or something. And he decided to, and there's surveillance video of this guy. He's got a backpack. He's wearing a hoodie. He's got a backpack. And he takes a knife out of his backpack, like a kitchen knife, like a butcher kitchen knife out of his back. Puts it in his front hoodie pocket. And then, you know those cheap gloves that you can buy at Home Depot that have like the white and they have like the, almost like the...
Like knitting almost.
Rubber stuff. Like,
oh, yeah.
Like the cheap ones at Home Depot. He had a bunch of those and he put a pair of those on. Shows it in this video, surveillance video. And then he just walks up to a construction worker and stabs him in the abdomen.
What the fuck?
Okay, and the New York City has the most police in any other city, but you know,
response time
compared to the amount of people, and it's a big area, response time is terrible. And well, guess what? He got away with it. Like he literally, nobody stopped him. I mean, there's got to be tons of people walking around witnessing this.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, this guy just walks off. Nobody stops him. Nothing. Of course, I'm sure people were out recording with their phones or whatever, but of course nobody's going to stop a guy because he's got a knife. They have nothing else to defend themselves, so why stop him? It's not your problem, right? So this guy walks around for 2 hours, stabs another person, stabs a fisherman, just randomly, doesn't know these people, stabbed a fisherman, doesn't get caught that time, and then keeps walking around. Time goes by, and then he stabs another woman. So he's able to stab 3 people it's not like he stabbed him in like one area. Like this guy walked a ways.
Yeah.
If you look at the map, like it was not close. He didn't get caught by the police the first time, even though he was on surveillance video. Didn't get caught the second time. And then finally the third time. I don't know if he got caught during the third time or sometime after that, but he was able to stab these 3 people well far apart from each other. And where were the cops?
Yeah.
Hey, obviously there's somebody going around stabbing at least 1-2 people. Yeah, maybe we can rely on the government, like they say, that they're going to protect us. No. Then some poor lady got stabbed too and killed.
That's crazy.
Yeah. We can really rely on the government.
Yeah.
Yeah, good. And that wasn't a gun. It was a knife.
Yeah. Like,
where are the calls to ban knives? Like, if that was a gun, if he did that with a gun, if he went up, shot a guy, walked around, shot another guy, did this with a gun, it'd be all over the news. They'd be calling for banning guns.
Oh, yeah.
But because this was a knife.
Yeah.
Nothing. Silence.
You're going to get that.
But why?
If he would have ran into someone that was concealed carrying, like the fisherman, let's say, for example, was probably, if he was concealed carrying and shot the dude, it would have probably been all over media.
And that guy probably would have got in trouble if he wasn't legally able to. I'm sure they would have found a way to screw the fisherman from protecting himself or anybody else.
I know when I go fishing, I usually carry. I remember fishing late one night. We saw a bike. It was over there, and we heard him. He cut off his lights at the top of the hill, like because his lake is right in the middle of Metcalf Road. So like we were fishing the bank and fishing, and we didn't hear him. And then like it was like 30, 40 minutes later, and he starts his bike. He's literally like 5 feet from us when he started it. We didn't hear him roll down. We didn't hear nothing.
Dang.
It was scary as hell. And I was like, this is why you need to carry. Like, what was his intentions at that? That's like,
You don't know.
yeah, you don't know. And that's scary.
And the cops aren't there. It's going to
Yeah.
take them a while to get to that spot.
And it's pitch black at night on the other side of the lake.
Well, I've been to New York a lot. And, you know, even though there's a lot of people around at night, I still don't feel safe at night. Like, even in Times Square, I was walking around Times Square. I'm like, I was with some people, but I'm like, man, I would not feel safe walking around here by myself, even though there's a bunch of other people. Like, it's especially like when you get to the alleyways and stuff like that. It's, you know, and again, people don't care. Like, there was a story a long time ago. Like, wasn't there like a dead body or a baby in like the gutter of a street for a while before anybody even freaking noticed it?
Yeah.
God. But, and then this guy gets to go stab 3 people before getting caught.
Yeah.
Imagine that. So, case in point, didn't have a gun. Of course, didn't make a, you know, mainstream media news, or if they did, they briefly touched on it. But there was no calls for banning knives.
Yeah.
I mean,
We brought it up before about other countries and them banning things.
yeah.
So.
And this happened at 8:30. The first guy that got stabbed happened at 8:30 in the morning.
That's crazy.
And, you know, they want all these red flag laws and all this BS. Well, guess what? This guy had criminal history in 3 other states and has been known to have severe mental health issues. So this guy just walking around with all of that known by the government was able to go hours
That's crazy.
by killing people.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm shocked. Like,
So again,
if you're a construction worker, you'd think there'd be other construction workers around you working. They would have tried to stop them. I mean, I'm pretty sure most construction places probably have a sledgehammer.
yeah. Or maybe the guy was just on his way to work. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. That'd be interesting to know. Like, he was on site, like no one stopped him or
Maybe,
anything.
yeah. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know the
Because
details
I'm just thinking
of that.
like
I just know-
construction, like heavy equipment.
Well, fishermen, like he wasn't probably actually fishing, but he's probably, you know, they have the fishing markets where the guys come in. Most of those guys carry at least a fillet knife.
Yeah.
But at the same time, when your guy walks up and he just randomly stabs you, you're not prepared for that.
Yeah.
So it's like,
It's kind of crazy.
yeah. And that was a big knife that he had, and that would do some damage. And obviously it did. So that is another case for our argument. Why you shouldn't just ban guns. It's a tool. They're going to use any other tools. China, obviously, communist country, doesn't have the Second Amendment and all this stuff. But they don't own guns over there, so they have to come up with other ways.
Yeah.
Well, China's economy is slowing down, but you don't hear about that because the government tries to cover all that stuff up and everything. Most recently, which you probably may or may not have heard of, you know, other countries think that we as America were so dangerous with all the shootings. Well, you know, China, you can get killed by a car or a knife.
Yeah. Or the government.
Yeah.
Just for saying the wrong thing.
Exactly. So in China, a 60-some-year-old guy who got divorced and it didn't go his way decided to just take a vehicle, not a gun, not a knife, a vehicle, and killed 35 people. He rammed over all these people outside some sporting event.
Jeez.
And so he killed 35 and injured 43. Name me one mass shooting in America where that many people were hurt and killed. Maybe the Las Vegas shooting comes close.
Maybe, but I don't think it's that.
That's 35 people dead and then another 43 hurt.
injured, so 70 people, a little over 70 people involved.
Not a single person with an AR-15 has done that much damage here.
Yeah.
They're either stopped or something happens. But a car?
Yeah.
I mean, 35.
That's nuts.
That's a lot of people that he hit. And just because he felt like
I didn't get my way.
In the divorce, and you just decided to.
I don't know if it ain't my way, it's a highway, baby.
Right?
Floor it.
I don't know what car he was driving, but again, evil will find a way to do it.
Yeah.
You don't need a gun.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah. And of course, all those people can't defend themselves because they don't have the Second Amendment. They probably can't carry knives. I don't know. If that happened in America, in a place where you can actually carry a gun to defend yourself, yeah, sure, maybe the driver would have been able to hurt some people, but somebody probably would have been able to stop him well before he killed that many people.
Yeah, that's absurd.
Yes, 35 was another 43.
So 78 people.
He did some damage. That's a lot.
Yeah.
Like, what did the car look like afterwards? Like,
That's
shit,
what
man.
car was it
Right?
in China, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
think it was a cyber truck.
It's probably a little like Corolla van or something like that.
Oh my god. Yeah, I mean that's to run over that many people.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Must have had some off-road tires or something.
That or a bus.
Right?
Jeez.
Obviously, with trying to be in a communist government, they try and take down. They've been trying to take down everything about that incident, especially over in China. There was I saw a news article or a news video where the guy had an Australian accent, but he spoke like Chinese. I don't know, but you could see the guy trying to report on the incident, kind of where that happened, and there were a bunch of locals actually trying to stop him from recording and reporting what happened. Like, and then, you know, people were putting up makeshift memorials in that area, and the government was taking that stuff down because they don't want the rest of the world to see that, hey, we're dangerous too. This shit happens here too. No, they don't want that to get out. They want everybody to think, oh, everything's rainbows and sunshine over here.
Yeah, okay.
Well, and mental health is a big issue over there, but guess what? They don't talk about it.
No.
Like here, something tragic happens, we talk about it. Yeah, you can report it. First Amendment.
Yeah. Over there's a lot. It's a whole other ballgame over there.
It is. And more stuff are happening now as our economy is slowing down. People are struggling, and you know, obviously they're being suppressed by the government, and that's having a thing too. You can't talk about mental health over there like you can here, and so people are starting to break. And like this guy,
yeah, that's a big mental break.
yes. But there were no calls
anywhere
from restricting vehicles.
Yep. Well, it's China, so they'll cover it up.
But why? I mean, here, why isn't our government been like, oh, look over there, the guy killed, hurt 70-some people.
Because I was over there.
Yeah, our trucks are bigger here.
Oh, I know.
We can do more damage.
Oh, I know.
And then, not to top that off, 4 days after that, in China, a former student just had he graduated and then was going back to school for something, but he was unhappy. He was unhappy with his internship that he was going through. He, I guess, didn't do well on an exam, may or may not have graduated again. So because he was feeling down, no access to a gun, I guess he didn't have access to a vehicle, so he took a knife. So after that mass rampage with the vehicle, this kid, I think he was like 21, he was pretty young, he killed 8 people with a knife.
Wow.
Yeah, and he confessed to the crime, and because he wasn't happy and he wasn't doing well on his exam. At least 6 other high-profile knife attacks have been recorded this year in China, but because they don't have freedom of the press, you don't hear about it.
Yeah, that, and I don't think I'd ever want to be in a China jail or have anything to do with China with their government.
Exactly. I don't want to go to China at all.
I'm sure they're probably like, you killed someone, we kill you, and we'll kill you again.
And we'll cover it up. So these civilians over there have no way to protect themselves. So if somebody decides they want to do harm, they don't have access to guns, so they're going to do it through a vehicle. They're going to use knives.
Yeah.
They're going to use whatever they can. And with the economy slowing over there and a lot of people struggling, this might escalate, but we're not going to hear about it because the Chinese government is trying to suppress it.
Yeah.
But that's just to go to show you.
Guns aren't just the issue.
Exactly. It's not the guns.
It's the people.
It's a tool.
Yep. I saw actually a video this week sometime, and it was like this dad went to a gun store, was buying his like 5-6-year-old a 22, and this lady stopped like, this is not a good idea. This is not a good idea. And she's like asking everyone, do you think this is a good idea? And everyone in the room's like, he's doing a great job. He's showing his kids how to properly handle a gun, what he should do, what he shouldn't do. He's like, hell, I started my kids at 5. He's like, that's being a responsible gun owner right there. And people are like, it's not the gun that's the issue. It's the people and them not being trained properly or being taught. Mm-hmm. And I was like, that's a good. I was like, I don't know if it was a prank like video, just to see what other people's opinions were, like they usually do on TikTok and Facebook, but it seemed pretty legit.
Hey, you know what we could do? Teach gun safety in school at an early age. Just you don't have to teach them about guns, just safety.
Yeah.
Like, hey, if you come across this, here's what to do or what not to do. Like, hunting is prevalent. You could go hunt.
Yeah.
I know they're trying to change the age.
It's so stupid. Like,
I'm
I'm so tired of them changing the age of everything. Oh, you got to be 21 for tobacco now. Oh, you got to be 21 for alcohol. But yeah, you can go serve your country as a child at 18 and hold a weapon of war.
Yeah.
Smoke and drink in other countries.
But you come back here.
and you can't do shit. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm tired of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like if it's going to be 21 then, so then for you to go in the service, then you should be 21. Let's see if the military likes that. Bet they won't.
Nope.
Because then you're not getting these kids right out of high school that don't know better.
Right.
You're starting to get the kids that are educated a little bit.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm tired of that. Like, I'm tired of them to keep changing the age on stuff like that.
Yeah. It's like, I kind of get it with the drinking age, 21.
But also it comes back to like, people over there are drinking at 13. They're more responsible with alcohol use. So if we change it to 13 here, would it make a difference?
I don't.
At 13 here, you can't drive, really.
Right.
So,
would that cause more people to become alcoholics, you
I don't
think?
know.
Or because you're exposed to it at such a younger age?
Maybe but if it runs in your genetics or your family that alcohol, I don't think you're going to try to force your kid to do it because you don't. You'd be probably scared that they might have that gene or trait in them.
But our dads growing up, they were able to drink at 18.
Yeah.
And I remember my dad saying he turned 18 the year that law changed. So as soon as he turned 18, he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna get ready to drink," and then they changed it to 21.
Yeah.
I mean, half of me gets it because you think you're responsible and you know everything at that age, but you don't know shit and you do a bunch of dumb stuff. Obviously you drink underage. Most people do anyway,
especially if you go to college.
Yeah. I don't know. I see it both ways, but with guns, pistols, fine, whatever. 21, I don't care. But hunting, because they want to restrict, especially ARs. They don't want. They want you to be 21 to own an AR, which is completely different than the one that you use to serve the country with. I don't know. It's tricky.
Yeah, I don't know. I think you got hunter safety course for a reason. Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, it doesn't go crazy in depth, but it does break down. Hey, this is a butt stock. This is your trigger. When you're shooting, like, make sure your finger's off the trigger. Like, basic stuff like that. Don't pull the trigger or point it in any direction until you're ready to shoot. Then, like, just basic stuff like that they should be teaching.
Probably what they're getting at with that is, 18, a lot of times you're still in high school.
Yeah.
Well, bullying is a huge issue now because you don't just get bullied at school, you get bullied all the time on social media. So they're thinking, okay, well, this kid's still in high school, he gets bullied. Now that he's a legal age to buy a gun, whether it be a shotgun, rifle, AR-15, whatever, he could bring that. I think that's where they're probably getting that.
Yeah, but
on that side,
I don't know, like,
because then once you're 21, then you're obviously out of high school, and then But maybe maybe they're thinking 18. You could still be a high school student.
I don't.
But
know.
of course, most of the time they're under 18.
Yeah.
If there's a school shooting.
Yeah, they're getting it somewhere.
Again, if he wants to do harm,
they'll do harm.
Find a way. He'll bring a freaking knife or bring his tractor and smash people. I don't know. But bring a plow and plow over people in a farm. I don't know. There's ways to do it. It just doesn't make sense that at some point they got to wake up and realize, okay, people need to be able to protect themselves. Maybe let's not restrict the guns.
Yeah.
Let's
actually talk about it and do proper training and teaching of
figure out how to stop people from
bring
doing
God back into the Bible back to school so people value life like they used to.
Ever since Trump was elected, there's been some videos being reshared of him saying that he basically wants to make it legal to carry your gun across all 50 states. That video seems like it's new because it's resurfacing, but that was actually something that was recorded in 2023, where he announced plans for national concealed carry, and it's just now resurfacing. So in the video from 23, Trump quoted, "Your Second Amendment does not end at the state line." He basically wants a concealed carry permit to work across state lines, just like a driver's license. Like we can drive across state lines, no problem. He wants us to be able to do the same thing with guns, which I definitely think. Because right now you have to check a map. Like if you have a concealed carry license, you got to check a map, see what states recognize it. Like, okay, I'm good here. Oh, this state doesn't recognize it, or you're not allowed to bring a gun across state lines. Avoid that state, or just drive straight through and
hope to God you don't get pulled over.
Exactly. As great as that would be, and it should be that way, because you shouldn't have to worry about all this bullshit because we're the country, we're all protected by that same Second Amendment. The problem is Trump can't just pass that with executive order.
Well, I don't know because it's in the Constitution, so
it is, but it's got to go through Congress.
It's supposed to be nationwide.
Yeah,
it's your born right if you're an American.
But Trump can't.
I mean, technically, we're allowed to go freely to state. We don't need a license. And that's part of our Constitution.
Exactly. Maybe. But
freedom of speech, same way. I can go state to state and say whatever the fuck I want.
I agree. But technically, Trump can't just pass that himself. He needs Congress, which it's looking like we're going to have both Senate and House. So this looks like it could be a real thing.
If you know you're going to a state that doesn't allow concealed carry, motherfuckers that are bad, and they know this does pass, they're going to think twice about doing something stupid. Because now they got to worry about, oh shit, does this person have something on them that can end my life? And are they prepared for that?
It's going to take a while for them to realize that. It's going to take some instances where they get bit in the ass. But and of course, with this whole surge of migrants and all these gangs that are taking over these cities, and LA just announced that they're going to be a sanctuary city for all these migrants. Guess where it's also difficult to own a gun legally?
Yep.
All these criminals own guns just fine.
It's funny how it's in a lot of these Democratic run states.
Exactly.
Just going to say it.
So, yeah, I hate having to check a map when I'm just...
Yeah, I don't think we should have to. I think if you're an American citizen, you should not have to have any type of license to go anywhere where you want. Yeah. If that's the case, then where's your license for freedom of speech? Then you're to go across state lines whenever you want. You got to get a permit. Like, that's how I look at it. Got the Constitution. It's there for a reason. Because I'm telling you what, would you want to go into Illinois, Chicago area without a gun? Would you want to go to L.A., Colorado?
I've done it a lot.
Yeah, but
and
you
I don't
wouldn't
feel safe.
Yeah.
Especially, and that was like Chicago. I haven't been to Chicago in years, but I used to go there all the time to work, and I would be working in not so nice areas. And I'm a white guy in a freaking work minivan, like with an insurance thing on. I'm like, oh, this is awesome.
Yeah.
I did not feel safe at all. Yeah, even though my company is like that I worked for was like, hey, you can't carry a gun with you. Hey, if I went to states where I could and I would definitely carry. I'm like, I would rather lose my job saving my life than losing my life because I couldn't carry a gun. But if it came to it to where they were to pass that, but you have to get a concealed training or a concealed carry license and take that 8-hour course, pass the test. Thoughts on that?
It is what it is.
I think you should. I think you should, because there's a lot of things that you don't think about that they teach you in that class.
Yeah.
And you want to make sure people can actually handle a gun. Because I've taken the class. There's a lot of people it's like, is this your first time picking up a gun? Yeah. Like, it's kind of scary. Like, you want to be at least shoot what you want it, because you also got to think about, like, if you miss, you own wherever that bullet goes. So if you're protecting yourself, trying to hit a bad guy, but you hit somebody innocent, well, guess what? You just killed that innocent person. So I think taking a concealed carry course is a good thing.
I don't know, because I don't know.
I know you got the people, oh, it's my God-given right. Yeah. Okay, fine. But there's a lot of people out there that could use training.
I mean,
there's things that you need to think about legally. You can't just go into a 7-Eleven and because the 7-Eleven's getting robbed and you're in the back and have a gun, don't shoot the guy. Because first of all, that's not your property that he's stealing. Like, just let him freaking rob the 7-Eleven. Now, if he points a gun at your head, that's a little bit different. Yeah. But if you're in the back and he's robbing the cashier and just asking for money and that's it, it's not the fucking what happened. Like
it is a good training tool to do the classes and things like that. But there's also a lot of I don't know. I look at it like the military. They train you probably more than an 8-hour course. You're doing it months on end and hours on end.
Okay, but there's a lot of people that aren't in the military.
Yeah, but you're still having the military have to go through this training.
Right.
That could probably don't even need it. So, I don't know. I just look at it like, if you want to take the class, take it. If you don't, you don't. Type of deal.
Yeah.
I mean, they have plenty of classes out there. They got classes out there for beginners, advanced shooters, 3-gun, long-distance shooting there.
Yeah, but I mean, most people don't do any of that, though. They just carry a gun to protect themselves, essentially.
Yeah.
Probably, take me, for example. I carry a gun, but I also haven't shot a gun in 3 years.
Yeah.
I own a gun business. I haven't shot a gun
Yeah.
in 3 years. I don't do training. I've taken the simple classes and stuff, but like I don't do tactical training. I don't do the things. I don't know. It's I guess it could go either way. I would be fine if it was a requirement to to get a concealed carry license. If they're like, if you have a concealed carry license, you can take your gun to all 50 states. Sign me up.
I mean, I don't even think you need a permit. I think you should just be able to.
Yeah.
So
Let us know your guys' thoughts below.
Yeah.
Should you get a permit, or should you just naturally be able to have your God-given right to carry a gun across whatever?
Yep. I mean, you got freedom of speech everywhere at that point. You just say you need a permit to go, oh, you can't speak in this state. I mean, it goes both ways right there at that point.
There's just a lot of things to think about when you're carrying a gun because
there is.
That's a lot of responsibility.
It is.
That could go bad real quick, not in your favor.
The thing is, though, like...
And it depends on the state laws, too, whatever state you're in. Like, stand your ground states are going to be different than, like, say, Massachusetts or something that is.
I think the problem, too, is a lot of people don't usually do their homework going across state lines and knowing the gun laws for those states. So that's where that gets you in trouble. Like, it's all about being prepared, right?
Yeah, because we looked up when we went across one of the states, you had to have the magazine separate from the gun and it somewhere else, right?
Yep, they had to be separate from each other.
We did that.
Yep. It's all about making a plan, understanding that plan. Because when shit hits a fan, anxiety and stress all kicks in, you're not going to be prepared unless you've been trained, and it's just muscle memory at that point.
Yeah. I mean, if you see somebody ramming 70-some people over with a car.
Yeah, like, what are you going to do?
Yeah. I mean, if one person had a gun, all they had to do was start shooting up that car and would have stopped that.
Yeah, hopefully.
And I mean, that stuff has happened here.
Yeah.
Obviously, they didn't kill that many people. A lot of instances where people use cars here to hurt other people. Knives. Mm-hmm. There's been a lot of mass stabbings here, too. It's a tool. They're going to find the way. But, again, maybe we should start bringing up the thing that we should start restricting cars. We need to start restricting knives.
At that point, what's like...
Why not? Why not restrict those? If they're going to restrict guns...
Yeah.
Why don't we restrict the other?
At that point, you're going to be going down the rabbit hole of everything that can be used. Anything can be used as a weapon.
So let's start restricting everything.
So
let's just start doing
do
it.
Shit.
Exactly.
At that point. So no one's going to be building. No one's going to be doing anything because that could be a tool.
Let's try and beat them at their own game.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Oh, you like the golf? Well, those golf clubs can be used to kill somebody.
Yeah.
We're going to restrict those. You need a permit to go golf.
Yeah.
Because that's a weapon that could be used to kill somebody. Yeah. We'll just beat them at their own game.
Yeah, okay.
They want to restrict our laws. Guess what? We're going to restrict them too.
Yeah.
But hopefully with Trump and the Senate and House hopefully being in our favor, we'll see what happens. There's going to be a lot of pushback. There's going to be a lot of people still fighting that, like we talked about a couple episodes ago with the anti-gun groups. They're going to be pushing. Obviously, they have... Unfortunately, Bloomberg behind them, who's got unlimited funds. So
let's make a protest against the protesters. So we'll be anti-gun, anti-mom against, we're against both of those.
We're anti-gun grabbers.
Yeah.
We're anti-moms against. What is it?
Violence or something.
Whatever it is. Yeah.
We're anti.
Or something. I don't know.
Keep it going.
Mm-hmm. But yeah. Oh, you want to ban our guns, Miss Mom Group, ban gun person? Okay, fine. I'm going to ban your minivan because it has the capacity to mow over a bunch of people. Yeah. Oh, you like your big Escalade? No, because that is a massive weapon right there. Like, take an Escalade.
Yeah.
Okay, you're going to be limited to a smart car. Guess what? Instead of banning guns, fine, ban the guns. Guess what? We're going to ban your big Suburbans and your big lifted trucks with four-wheel drives. Here's a smart car. Here's a smart car.
And Teslas. And
you can't do a whole lot of damage with a smart car.
Yeah.
I mean, you probably could, but I don't know.
I bet you could.
Not as much as compared to an Expedition.
I don't know.
I mean, that Expedition can mow over
smart cars. They've put like semi-truck trailers on top of them and they don't crush or crumple.
Yeah, but you could also pick one up and flip it over.
Yeah, you could.
Like, if you got enough people in the crowd that's been, just push that thing over.
Yeah, but if you're going like 50 miles an hour, right? No.
Yeah.
Stopping that.
But I think once it hits a couple people, it's going to slow down significantly. And the ground height on that is not very big compared to like an Escalade. Like you can.
Yeah, true.
Especially if you put a cow guard on something.
Put a big old bash bar.
That's it. I want to know what that guy had.
I bet it was like a little van. I bet you anything.
Yeah. Could you imagine if
they don't
he
have
had
a lot of stuff overseas that are big like what we have
know,
here.
but could you imagine if that guy had like a big 4-wheel drive truck with a cow guard on
it?
It?
Be like a Prius. It's
right?
eco-friendly.
But if he had a cow guard on it or one of those bulldozer things, like that's just like doomsday, like
doomsday vehicle in China.
Yeah. Of course, Chinese people are kind of small, so it doesn't.
They don't have the cushion like we do.
Right. Once you hit a big, so a few people overweight, it's going to slow you down a little bit.
Yeah.
It's going to put some big dents in your car.
Yeah.
That's why it doesn't happen here because there's too many obese people. They don't go down as easy as the China. Okay, that's terrible.
Yeah.
Anyway. So, yeah. Let us know what you guys think on all of that fun stuff. Anything on your end?
Not really.
Not really?
Except for the fight. You forgot about the fight.
Oh, yeah. The fight.
Netflix, you failed. You failed America.
I want, just like probably most other people, I want a free year of subscription because if you know people are, there's going to be a shit ton of people.
Oh, yeah.
You got freaking Mike Tyson coming back. That is going to be a huge event. You need to be able to support however many subscribers you have, knowing that every one of those people, yeah, you need to be able to support that. Everybody subscribed is going to at least be streaming. Not to mention everybody that subscribed has a different profile and everything.
I was getting pissed.
I was pissed. The first fight, when I first turned it on, the first fight, you could watch. It was fine. And then all of a sudden, once the two ladies were going at it, and that was the best fight ever.
Yeah.
Out of all of them, I was starting to have issues. I'm like, shit. So I got buffering on the TV just like a lot of people, and then all of a sudden just loading 25%. It went up to 99, but never showed anything.
Yep.
Restarted the TV, restarted the router, did all the stuff, got my phone, was kind of able to watch it on my phone sometimes, but then that didn't work. So then I grabbed my tablet, and I finally was able to watch the fight on my wife's iPad.
I waited like 20 minutes. And I just backed out, backed in, backed out, back in, and finally.
I'm like, could I watch the replay? Yes, but no, I want to watch it live. Like, I don't want, because social media, people are like, I don't want to know what's.
Yeah, I stayed off my phone when I was doing that. I was like, God, I gotta stay away, gotta stay away.
So massive failure on Netflix's part for that. The other controversy that's coming out because social media, a lot of people are saying it was rigged.
I can see that. I mean, the first round, he came out swinging
for like 10 seconds.
Well, that, and then he hit Paul on one of them, and then Paul hugged him, and then like when they let go, he like pat him on the back.
There was a lot of that.
Yeah, but,
I know that's.
But Tyson was like on the back, like Paul whispered something to him, and he just patted him on the back, like okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff, and the announcers were terrible.
Yeah,
like who were those people, and why did they get chosen to do that?
Yeah,
like where's Paul? Where's Joe Rogan, and Dana White, like they need to be the ones freaking calling that fight. Like,
it was bad.
Like, and they're like, oh, why does he keep biting his glove? And the other guy's like, well, that's what he's known for. Oh, why does he keep like they made that a thing? It's like, okay, he probably
that, and they're saying like, was he biting to hold back?
And they asked him at the end, and he's like, I have a biting fixation. Like, well, obviously he bit off an ear.
That's a smart.
Would you rather me bite my glove or his freaking ear off? You know? I don't know. I could see how he's doing that to like kind of maybe calm himself and kind of focus. Yeah. Whatever. I don't care about that. But if you watch a lot of Tyson's training videos building up to that.
Yeah. He looked totally different.
He was a beast. And I know
totally different.
The freaking announcers were like, oh, his legs aren't moving. But if you watch those videos of him training, he was moving around just fine. Yeah. Like he was going full on. And that's why I was like, Jake Paul's going to get the fuck beat out of him. And then he got in the ring and
like it all fell apart.
Nothing.
Like he wasn't there.
He threw 97, landed half of that.
Yeah, I was like,
what the hell?
Yeah, and like I don't know, it just didn't look right. Like he started getting his feet back, and then he just like stopped. It's like,
And there were a lot of times it's like, all right,
there's a lot of opportunities where he could have just knocked and laid him out. If it was younger Tyson, he would have been done.
well, yeah.
Because there's a lot of them where I saw Jake Paul, he was putting his head down when he was striking. And I was like, Tyson, all he's got to do is go, bam. I'm like, he never did. But
there were also a lot of times it's like, all right, Jake Paul could just take this guy out right now.
yeah,
And he
I
didn't.
mean, yeah, it was weird.
Because he was like, building up to it, Jake Paul was like, I'm going to knock this motherfucker out.
Yeah.
Round number 1. Tyson's like, I'm going to knock him out, 5, 6 round.
Yeah.
No knockouts. Yeah. No blood. I mean, the women before that, the cut on the forehead.
Bloody.
Dude, and they were fighting balls to the wall. They still had only 2 minutes, just like Jake and Paul did. Or Jake and Paul. Paul and Tyson did. Same 2 minutes, but those women were full on.
Yeah, it was a good fight.
And that's what I was expecting the Jake Paul Tyson to be. And it obviously disappointed, just like everybody knows. But it's like watching his training videos, and was it just a hype?
I think it was
Jake Paul is known for hyping things up.
It might have been a hype, and I almost feel like it was kind of rigged.
Yeah.
Just to get an easy payday.
Yeah, if you watch, again, like his training videos and then the fight, it's like 2 different people.
Yeah, 2 totally different people. There's so many opportunities he could have had.
Yeah, it's like, and he's just dancing. It's like, I'm like, maybe he's waiting till like round 7 or the last round to really unleash on Jake Paul.
And they never did.
No. I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
And of course, then you got Jake Paul, like, if he would have knocked Tyson out, which he probably could have based on the way Tyson was fighting, then he's going to get a bunch of shit for knocking out a 58-year-old.
Yeah. I mean.
But at the same time, he agreed to it.
Yeah.
So who gives
That's why I was like, man, I don't know. There's a part of me feels like it was rigged and some of it doesn't.
Yeah. And the fact that Jake Paul was wearing $1 million freaking shorts, it's like, come on, dude. Nobody fucking likes you guys.
Yeah.
I can't stand either one of those. Him or his freaking brother.
I can't stand him.
Like, yeah, okay, sure, the dude can box, but maybe box somebody your own age.
Yeah. That's what I say. Go same age as you.
Yeah.
Quit going after the retired.
Like he's calling out Conor McGregor.
I hope
it's like, dude.
I'd love to see Conor just because Conor's still young.
Yeah. Yeah, younger than Tyson. But dude, it's like, call out people that are your age. Like,
I think if they did MMA, Conor McGregor would destroy him.
Well, Conor McGregor tried boxing. Who did he try boxing?
Mayweather. Remember he got to 6 rounds? Mm-hmm. And those were full rounds. And like he held his own.
He did.
So,
but MMA is a lot. I mean, once you start throwing in the legs, and that's a lot different than boxing. I don't know. I think
Conor could probably box him. Yeah, but
Jake Paul's like 6'1",
6'2", I think,
something like that. Could they with that much height difference?
Oh yeah.
I know Conor McGregor gained weight after fighting.
Oh yeah, he gained a lot,
but in a healthy way.
Yeah, muscle.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Yeah,
it's not going to happen.
No, it's not. It'd be awesome though. That'd be a fight I would love to see.
Like, I don't like Conor McGregor either because he's a pompous asshole and like full of himself, but I would totally be fine with him knocking out Jake Paul.
Yeah. Just knock that loudmouth out.
Did you watch that movie with Conor McGregor and the remake of Roadhouse?
No, I didn't watch it.
It was it wasn't a complete remake.
Yeah.
They kind of had its own storyline. It was kind of the same thing, but different. But it was just over the top. It was like watching a Fast and the Furious movie.
Yeah.
It just was like, dude, if you got hit that many times by that, you'd be dead. And they never.
Yeah.
It was unrealistic. But in that movie, Conor McGregor sounded like a little leprechaun. It was funny. But yeah, so I don't know. Let us know if you guys think that fight was rigged or not. The more stuff you watch, and as you watch the slow motion stuff, it's like,
yeah, it could possibly be rigged.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
I mean, it was an ezy payday.
Well, and Jake Paul at the end was like bowing down, like, yeah.
I don't know.
Tyson did look
old,
and especially there were a couple of times in the later rounds where after he got hit in the face and the nose, you could tell it's like he's like, but it's like at the same time you were training, like you should have been able to take those punches.
Yeah, I think he took them. I don't know. It was just weird.
Yeah. Seeing the training videos and then how he fought, it's like
totally night and day difference. Like, what the hell?
I'm glad that was a free fight and we didn't have to pay for it.
Yeah, I've been pissed.
Yes. If that was on pay-per-view and we had to pay $90, I'd be definitely
But we would actually get to watch it, though.
True. We would have had no buffering problems because HBO, because even the Mayweather and who's that?
McGregor.
No, not the McGregor one. The one Mayweather and Pacquiao.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not a big boxer. I don't watch the fights, but I remember watching that one down in Texas.
Yeah.
That was a big one. And no streaming issues.
Yep. It's
Nothing.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm scared now for the Chiefs on Christmas on Netflix. Like, am I going to be able to watch it? Or
Well,
is it
you're not
buffer?
going to. Yeah, you're not going to have the same amount of people watching.
Well, you never
it.
know. It's Christmas.
Yeah.
A lot of people do their Christmas in the morning, and then afternoons watch TV and nap.
I think the whole streaming thing with the NFL is bullshit. Like,
Yeah, so do I.
It's getting out of control. Like
you got to have Fubo or Amazon, and then this, and then that. It's like, just put it on
I like
the
being
channel.
able to turn on my network TV because I don't have cable and watching the local game.
Yep.
All right, well, if you guys are looking for some transfers and do live in the Kansas City area, especially on the Kansas side, check out boomstick-tactical.com for the lowest transfers in the area. We also have a little bit of inventory if you want to check that out. We do have some stuff listed on Arms List. Check that out. Reach out to us. Boomstick-tactical.com. Unfortunately, we cannot post a link in the description below because of YouTube and their China guidelines. Well, next week, we're going to talk about EDC, everyday carry.
Sweet.
What do you carry? What do I carry as a gun dealer? And
All right.
because I went on a couple trips and it was different depending on where I went.
Yeah.
So yeah, talk about EDC.
Remember, this is a YouTube podcast. Remember to like, subscribe, and tickle that bell. If you're listening on other platforms, hit that follow button. And with that, everyone, have a good one.